Hello and welcome back to more Super Mario Kart, where last time we played through the Flower Cup, that's not what I wanted, no I didn't want to do that, I wanted to do 100cc, we played through the Flower Cup on 100cc, and today we're going to be playing through the Star Cup on 100cc, and we're going to be using Donkey Kong Jr. as I believe what this character is called, because I've seen him referred to as Donkey Kong Jr. in the post-race leaderboards. Yes, we're going to be doing the Star Cup this time, and hopefully, if we win this cup, we should unlock a special cup. This didn't work out too well for us in 50cc because apparently there is no special cup for 50cc, so we're hoping this time we'll unlock a special cup. Assuming we win, which, you know, with Super Mario Kart can go either way. Because this game has aged not that great. I mean, honestly, it's better than I anticipated, and I'm probably going to retry that. I did not mean to burn out there, but I still burned out apparently? Okay, well whatever. It aged, I mean, it's still not aged well, but it controls better than I anticipated, but that's not saying much since my expectations were just just in the pits essentially. So, you know, we'll see how this goes. We'll see how this goes, whether we can win or not. But today's topic is, this will be the last time when I discuss topics that were left hanging after Market 8 Deluxe. So today we're going to discuss Disney direct-to-DVD sequels, and basically my thoughts on them. Now, I haven't seen all of them. For instance, I've not seen, was there a Tarzan 2? I don't know, there probably was. I haven't seen that if it exists. I haven't seen Mulan 2. And I don't want to see Mulan 2 because I really, really love the first Mulan. I think it's an incredible movie and one of the best of the Disney Renaissance era. And I don't want to tarnish that with Mulan 2 because I'm sure that it will be just as bad as the rest of Disney's direct-to-DVD video catalog, including the likes of The Return of Jafar, which is honestly one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I mean, it's not Toy Story 4 levels of bad, but to say it's not as bad as literally the worst film I've ever seen isn't really saying all that much, because it basically makes the entirety of the first movie irrelevant. Because the plot of the Return of Jafar is that, well, for one thing, as the name implies, Jafar returns. So it's like, oh, so we didn't actually defeat Jafar in the first movie. He just kind of took a nap for a little bit, and then he got brought back by digging himself out of the sand. Somehow, don't ask me how he pulled that one off. And then he's back for round 2. Yeah, I guess we never defeated him at all. But character-wise, it's even more insulting because the whole point of the first movie was Aladdin learning that he doesn't have to lie to Jasmine in order for them to be together. Like his whole relationship with Jasmine was built on a lie, and that he was trying to convince her that he is in fact Prince Ali Ababwa. But obviously that's not the case. So he learned in the end that he just needed to be true to himself and didn't have to lie to her. Meanwhile, in Return of Jafar, the inciting incident of the movie is that Iago flies back from the pits of the desert where he was trapped with Jafar, and when he gets back to Agrabah, he gets himself into a situation with a thief played by Jason Alexander. Don't ask me how that came to be. He's probably, honestly, the best part of the movie is probably Jason Alexander playing that thief, because it's Jason Alexander. How can you possibly go wrong with that? So, basically, Iago ends up saving Aladdin's life, incidentally, and so as a result of, good God, I might have to switch to a different character for this, because I'm getting Bowser vibes with this again. Getting very strong. Oh my God, the handling is so bad. Getting very strong Bowser vibes with this, with playing this character specifically on this course. The turning is just absolutely atrocious. Oh, good. Oh, what the? Okay. I guess that happened. Great. Sure. I don't know how that came to be, but I guess it came to be. Yeah, we'll be switching characters. I will be, after we lose this race, we're gonna switch characters because this is abysmal. So basically just never use this character. Never use Bowser or this character under any circumstances. There's no reason for you to ever use this character for any reason at all, is the lesson we've learned here today. So, yeah, we're never doing this again. We're never doing this again. Can we end this race rather soon so I can play as a different character? Okay, well, actually, I guess I have to actually cross the finish line, which requires me going around the entire place again, so that's fun. Oh, dear God almighty, the handling is atrocious. Handling is so bad, and I've already ranked out. There's no really point me. Actually, I'm just gonna give up now. Honestly, it's not worth going around the track an entire other time. Okay, I'll see you guys when we pick a character that isn't awful. Alright, let's try this again, shall we? So as I was saying, the exciting incident of Return of Jafar is that when Iago somehow digs his way out of the sand and leaves Jafar behind, he goes back to Agrabah and ends up saving Aladdin's life from the hands of the evil Jason Alexander thief. Somehow that ends up being a thing. So as a result of that, Aladdin feels indebted to Iago. Is, you know, a reasonable thing to say. You know, this person saved my life. He's done horrible things in the past, but I cannot overlook the fact that were it not for the actions that this bird undertook, I would not still be breathing here today. So, you know, that's got to count for something. That's not the problem that I have. The problem I have is that once he gets back to the dear God, the handling is so bad in this game. Once he gets back to the Sultan's palace, you'd think the reasonable thing for Aladdin to do after his development throughout the first movie is to say, hey, Jasmine, look who I found in the marketplace. I found Iago. And then he would say, I know he's back, and it's weird that he's back, but he also saved my life, so we should probably, you know, not totally shut him out or whatever. Basically just say, just tell her what happened, be honest about the situation that unfolded in the marketplace, and then together they can be like, okay, we'll figure out how to deal with this. We'll broach the subject to my father, the Sultan, and then we'll... Good God, the handling just sucks. The handling just sucks so much in this... Oh, the more I play this game, the more I hate it. The more I play this game, the more I hate it. I gave it the benefit of the doubt originally, but good God, the more I hate this game, the more it's grating on me. The more this game's... Anyway, yeah, so, that is not what Aladdin does, however. What Aladdin does instead is goes out of his way to hide the existence of Iago at basically every available opportunity to just prevent her from finding out no matter what. Which is not something that Aladdin would do after his development throughout the first movie, where the whole point was him learning to not have to lie to Jasmine constantly, and it's basically just a slap in the face that he would not just outright tell her that that's what happened with Iago, because it wouldn't harm anything. Aladdin didn't do anything wrong. His life was just saved by Iago. It's not like Aladdin didn't choose who would save his life, it just happened to be Iago. So... he wouldn't be committing any crimes, doing anything wrong by telling Jasmine, hey, this bird that tried to kill me in the last movie saved my life this time. So it just, I don't buy for even a second that Aladdin wouldn't have been willing to tell Jasmine what was going on. So that's just a massive step back in their relationship from the first movie, which annoys me to no end. Also, just the genie, it's... I don't fault the actor. I don't know the name of the actor that took up the role of the genie after Robin Williams said he didn't want to come back. I don't know his name. I honestly just don't. But I do not fault him for not, like, I don't place any blame on the actor himself for not. Can I used the mushroom and it just didn't do anything. Like it just actually just didn't do anything. What am I? I don't even know what I'm about. I don't even know what I'm bouncing on. I don't even know what I'm bouncing on. But I don't fault the actor at all for, because he was just doing his, like, he was given an impossible role of, hey, Robin Williams doesn't want to come back, and now, good God, can I please, for the love of God, I swear to God, they all just phase through the AI cheats so goddamn hard in this game. It's actually absurd how much the AI cheats in this game. They all phase through the blocks. They all phase right through the blocks, and you just don't. You bounce off them. It's actually ridiculous. I cannot play this game ever again. I can't wait to not play this game ever again after I finish this Let's Play. Anyway, I don't fault the actor for doing his best, because he was basically told, Robin Williams isn't coming back, we want you to play the role of the genie, and then he's just probably like, oh, shoot me now in that case. Because that's just like, what do you even do with that assignment? So, I don't fault him, I fault Disney and the writers of The Return of Jafar for basically just telling him, just try to be Robin Williams best you can. Just do everything he did and do your best to do that, because obviously everyone loved Genie in the first movie, so they basically they had to find a way to, because if you don't know, the reason why Robin Williams didn't want to come back from the second movie is because they basically misused, like, he had an agreement of do not use the Genie for more than this percent of marketing, like the Genie can't take up more than this amount of percentage of the marketing or whatever. Something like that, because he didn't want his namesake and his character to be used to market the film exclusively. Disney broke that agreement, and as a result, he didn't want to come back for the second one. So they kind of had to figure out something else to do, while casting someone new. And, like, again, I don't blame the actor. He did his best. I'm sure he did the best job he could. It's just that he was handed a crappy situation, and Disney Disney tried to replace someone that can't be replaced is essentially what happened. And they just misused his character in all, like, Genie saves, like, I'll say this, at least Genie does have a role to play in the story, which is something that can't be said for the King of Thieves, but, like, it just, I guess it also just kind of cheapens, because you can't really, they probably thought they couldn't make an Aladdin movie without the Genie, because Genie was such a massive part of why everyone loved the first movie. But also the point of the first movie was that Genie was finally free and got to go off and see the world, and then he came back saying, well, I saw the whole world already. It's like, did you though? Did you though? So it just kind of cheapens that impact. But, you know, so in conclusion, Return of Jafar sucks. Never watch it. What you can, honestly, this is probably more indicative of the problems with this film, is that you can skip Return of Jafar and miss nothing. Like, if you just watch the first movie and then jump straight to the third movie, all I would need to tell you is that Iago broke out of the desert somehow, I don't know how, and he's a good guy now, and that the Genie came back from his world tour. That's it. There is no new character development outside of that, because it's all just retreading the same ground from the first movie. It retreads the same plot from the first movie of Jafar, you know, being the bad guy. You would miss nothing if you never watched the movie. You would miss absolutely nothing. So, the plot is a retread, the character development is a retread, it cheapens the impact of the first movie by redoing all the same beats of the first movie, and modifying the endings of the characters to bring them back in the case of the Genie. It just sucks so much. And also the animation, like, I get that it's a direct-to-DVD sequel, but so is Aladdin and the King of Thieves, and that movie genuinely looks pretty good. Like, obviously, it's not up to par with the first movie, because it would never have been up to par with the first movie. But visually, it does look pretty good, and even story-wise, I don't like how Jasmine's character is portrayed, because she basically has absolutely nothing to do in the movie at all. You could cut Jasmine out of the third movie and miss nothing, which sucks. You could also cut Genie out of the third movie and miss nothing, which also really sucks, because he just doesn't play a role in the story at all. I guess except for patching the roof at the beginning of the movie, and I think he comes out of the whale thing at the end of the movie, but that's it. He doesn't do anything. He's there for, because people did not react positively to the second movie's portrayal of the Genie, so Disney's gut reaction was, oh, well, in that case, let's just go full in on the Genie cracking jokes and being self-aware constantly in every scene all the goddamn time. Because they got Robin Williams to come back for the third movie. I don't know how, but they did. So because they got Robin Williams to come back for the third movie, they were able to secure a situation. Good God, the handling of this game is so awful. They managed to secure a situation where now that you have Robin Williams, you can have Robin Williams do his thing and be the very zany, wacky, funny Genie that everybody loved. The problem is that when you Genie wasn't just cracking jokes and being self-aware all the time. There was more to his character than that. There was more to his role in the story than that. But they reduced Genie to just being the guy that cracks jokes constantly throughout the whole movie, which is really frustrating to deal with. But honestly, the core character development between Aladdin and his father is enough to salvage that movie from being bad to just being, I'd say it's probably a 6 or 7 out of 10, the third movie. It's definitely, it's a heartwarming watch to see Aladdin develop with his father. Anyway, this game is awful, so now I'm going to play this course again and hope that we don't rank out this time. Okay, well, we made it first place, but this game is, this is really getting on my nerves. I had initial first impressions. I think it's just because I started in 50cc. I had mostly positive first impressions just because it wasn't as I expected it to be. But it's the more I play, the more it starts to grate on me. Anyway, so in conclusion, Return of Jafar is awful. Return of Jafar spits on everything the first movie did. It basically just makes their character development and irrelevant, and it makes the plot irrelevant because it brings back Jafar. But Aladdin the King of Thieves is actually pretty good. I don't like how Jasmine and Genie are portrayed, because they're both basically useless to the film, which they really shouldn't be. But the character development between Aladdin and his father more than makes up for it, and it's really heartwarming to watch, and it kind of rounds out the trilogy in a nice way. So, I will rewatch Aladdin the King of Thieves from time to time, but I don't ever want to watch Return of Jafar because like I said, there's no point to really when I can just tell you those two things and you'll miss absolutely nothing, which is not a great thing for a sequel when you can basically miss nothing by watching it, or miss nothing by not watching it is what I should have said there. But keeping in tune with other Disney direct-to-DVD Disney sequels that suck, Little Mermaid 2, I hate it. I don't ever want to watch it again. It has some catchy tunes, so there's that. Fortunately, it's surrounded by a cloak of shit, which is the rest of the movie's plot, which is basically just the same plot from the first movie, except this time instead of the protagonist wanting to go to the land with the humans, it wants to go into the sea with the fish. See, it's clever because that's an inverse of what Ariel wanted to do, and now it's Ariel's daughter doing the opposite of what her mother wanted to do. Don't you get it? It's a clever thing. Please enjoy the sequel that really needed to happen. And it's even more hilarious when the villain of the movie is literally, they say verbatim Ursula's crazy sister. Like, she just pops out of the ocean out of nowhere in the beginning of the movie. And so that's, I like it when you just basically, because everyone loves Ursula, she's a great villain, so they're like, oh, well, what do we do now? Because Ursula's dead. Like, they actually killed Ursula in The Little Mermaid by stabbing her through the chest with the pirate ships. Oh my good God, this game. So, you know, what do we do now? Oh, I know. Retcon it so that she actually had a crazy sister the whole time named Morgana, I think is what she's called. Yeah, I think she's called Morgana. So, make of that what you will. But, yeah, so that, and she's even voiced by the same character, which just makes it even clearer that they want it to be Ursula they can't have it be Ursula because Ursula's dead, but they want it to be as close as it possibly can be without it actually being her, and it really shows. Also, the sidekicks of this movie, I hate them. You want to know why I hate them? Because they're literally just Timon and Pumbaa without any of the charm. They're like, hey, people love Timon and Pumbaa, what if we did them, but we didn't do them, and they have Tip and Dash instead? And it's so obvious. Like, they're not even trying to. Everything about their character design and the way they speak to each other. Like, put it this way. God, I hate drifting in this game so much. If I showed you their dialogue, but I didn't tell you what movie it was from, I don't think you would be able to tell me. Like, if I asked you, is this Timon and Pumbaa's dialogue? You'd say yes. You would probably say, oh, of course, it sounds like exactly what they would say. That sounds literally exactly like Timon and Pumbaa. Of course it's them. And then I'd be like, well, that's where you're wrong, bucko. Because it's actually these characters called Tip and Dash from a movie called Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea. So yeah, Little Mermaid 2 sucks. I've seen the prequel movie, Little Mermaid Ariel. I don't remember much about it, other than that her mom dies at the beginning. But it's not, they try to have a or it's like in the opening minutes of the movie, they have this really big emotional gut punch. But it doesn't work because Finding Nemo works really hard to make you immediately empathize with Marlin and Coral, which is why the opening of that movie hits you so hard, so fast, and it's so masterfully crafted. The same cannot be said for Little Mermaid, the Ariel's Beginnings, because you just, like, you already know she dies. You already know that Ariel's mom is going to die because she cannot exist. She doesn't exist in the other movie, so she literally can't be alive by the end of the opening scene. So it's just like, well, we know it's going to happen, and it just doesn't hit you hard at all. So it's, yeah, I know I missed some others, like, quick summary, so we can wrap up this video. Lion King 2, pretty good. Not as good as the original, but still pretty good. Really catchy tunes. Lion King 1.5, masterpiece, obviously. Timon and Pumbaa are phenomenal. That is an example of how to take the comic relief side characters and do something really, really amazing with actually giving them depth to their relationship and their character development. Take notes, Illumination. You can do it. You can do it. I promise you, it does work. You just gotta put effort into your writing. And that's all the ones I believe I've seen. I haven't seen any of the Cinderella ones. Haven't seen Mulan 2. Haven't seen Tarzan 2, if that's a movie that exists. So, I believe that sums up my thoughts on the Disney direct-to-DVD sequels. Anyway, we won the Star Cup. Now, the question is, did that unlock the Special Cup? I'm hoping it did, because if it didn't, then I don't know what to do. Because I really don't know what to do next if that did not unlock the Special Cup. That was kind of my whole plan, was win every cup and then unlock a Special Cup. So we'll see in a second if that plan actually came to fruition. I hope I don't have to get like a perfect score in every cup to unlock it. And the fact that it doesn't tell me that I unlocked it is concerning to me. Please tell me I unlocked a Special Cup. Please, I beg of you. Oh, thank goodness. Okay, I was really worried there for a second. I was really worried that I was gonna have to I had a pit in my stomach. I was like, wait, am I gonna have to win every race in every cup, like get a perfect score? No, thankfully it's not the case. So question, if I go back to 50cc, will it have, oh, I forgot. I keep instinctively pressing the B button to go back, but that's not how the controls in this game work, so it doesn't, I keep accidentally starting the race. Anyway, if I go back to 50cc, will it, I'm guessing not. Will there be a special cup here now? The answer is... no, okay, so there is... that's weird that there's no special cup for 50cc. That's really weird. I did it again. I pressed B. It's just so instinctive. B means back. B means back. But no, B actually means yes. So it's just... it's weird. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Next time we're going to take on the special cup, which has Rainbow Road. I'm so excited. So that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time. Hope to catch you all tomorrow for some more Super Mario Kart. Goodbye.